Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NBA Shorts here on Vendetta Sports Media. Along with Jiarmani DiPena, I'm Chris Bagdonas. And Jiarmani, thank you so much for bringing me on. I appreciate you want to talk about the NBA playoffs.
The game sevens in the NBA were supposed to be exciting. I don't know what's going on.
I know. It's like at first, the Celtics, I had a feeling in my gut, Trey's been talking all about it. I knew the Celtics would get it done against Milwaukee, and they really left it to zero doubt, especially without any I'm trying to think of the words here. It was just like they really stomped them out. I thought Milwaukee would put up a fight. Giannis has been really putting up some good numbers and really causing a lot of trouble. But, you know, Tatum, Brown, Smart, you name it, Al Horford, they were just getting it done.
It's funny having to use Jaylen Brown's wording here when it says the energy shifts. When Al Horford dunked on Giannis, I believe it was game 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think it was game 4, and just all like, oh my goodness, he turned back the clock. I lost my mind. But
Yeah.
just seeing how they've proven us right in terms of people who believe in this team. You got guys on ESPN like Kendrick Perkins. He's flip-flopping over like, I don't believe in the Celtics, now I do. It's like you got to believe in this team. This is what I was telling people around. If this team, Milwaukee's not beating the Celtics in the 7th game, we know how good this defense is. We know how special Tatum and Brown can be. They just had to show it. And just on the topic of Jason Tatum, his game 6 performance,
God.
if they end up winning the championship, Jason Tatum, that's an all-time great playoff performance.
That is. I was thinking in my head, just he's Kobe Bryant in a 6'8" frame. That's just what I'm seeing. His footwork, his mid-range game, he commands it. And you just knew growing up, from my perspective, I was like, it's Kobe, he just gets it done. And I'm starting to think the same way with Jason Tatum. He just gets it done out on the floor every single night.
And if he keeps that level of consistency for the rest of his career, we're looking at this guy being an all-time great player.
No, no question.
One of my favorite guys to watch. Him and Brown.
Me too. Yeah.
It's funny, the fact that they were actually having discussions that they were really going to break these guys up. And that's the crazy thing about the NBA nowadays, because you can actually go and get the input from the player to their face. Usually they'll keep that kind of thing behind closed doors and all that stuff going on. But just now looking at Jason Tatum, and it's funny how people use the Kobe Bryant comparison, because honestly, I think Jason Tatum's his arsenal is a lot more expansive than Kobe.
I agree.
Kobe, God rest his soul. If Kobe was able to see Jason Tatum now, he would probably say he just has a bigger arsenal, because look at the passing that Jason Tatum. He's being able to set up his teammates better, and that's probably on Coach Udoka. But it's also being a coachable player, and just seeing Tatum being able to blossom with Jaylen Brown, the rest of those guys. It's crazy. The starting lineup for that Celtics team yesterday, all 5 of them were developed, I should say, everybody but Horford, actually. But you got Pritchard, who was doing his thing. You got Grant Williams. Oh, the Batman.
Yeah, I could not believe that.
You cannot count out the Batman. That nickname is going to stick for him, man.
I love that.
No, but just the whole, they have all the tools now to win the championship.
Yeah, they do. I on Miami, I know, Jimmy Butler's been great so far. He has not come up against a team like the Celtics. It's that simple. The Sixers, like, you really think the Sixers are a dangerous team? Like, what, in Atlanta, you can't really talk about them in the same bracket as the Celtics. Like,
it's just what sets them apart is that defense, man. It's the I'm gonna keep saying this. This Celtics team is different. It's a special kind of team. If you look at the Celtics playoff runs in the past, you see this team, it may have this around the same level of guys, same group of guys, but this team is not the exact same as these other teams in the past. Miami's gonna have a real issue, and the Celtics are going all the way. I'm saying that. That's my prediction.
I think even if it's Dallas or the Warriors in the finals, I don't think they'll be able to find an answer for the Celtics. That's just how good they've been. It's crazy to think that, like you said, in January, around the turn of the new year, it was a completely different story. It's unbelievable, honestly.
Absolutely just astonishing, because I remember watching that New York Knicks game with RJ Barrett's
that buzzer beater.
And that was absolute rock bottom. I watched that game start to finish, and you just felt like it was a tale of 2 seasons, because my heart sunk when that happened. And it's just, it's funny how everybody was so quick to clown the Celtics, and nowadays you're looking on Twitter and social media, and everybody's giving the Celtics their flowers. It's like you gotta keep the same energy. But I have faith in this team, and no doubt they're going to be hoisting that trophy at the end of the season.
I know they're gonna. I just think of all the 4 teams left, who's playing the best basketball? It's got to be the Celtics, and it all starts from the defensive end. Like you said, we knew how great of a scorer Jason Tatum was, but you knew with that frame he has, that length, he's just naturally is going to be a great defender in the NBA. And obviously having a guy like Jaylen Brown right with him, who's going to be in all NBA teams for the rest of his career, much like Marcus Smart and Robert Williams. Like it made too much sense for it not to be that way.
Yeah, and just even piggybacking off the point, let's talk about the Bucks real quick. I'm Giannis absolutely is the all-time great player.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Absolutely just gross when it comes to just being like he's the pinnacle of the NBA at the moment. He's one of if not the best player in the world.
100%.
And it's just the fact that Chris Middleton, that just goes to show how much they were missing Chris Middleton, because it was Giannis, and then it was Giannis on one level and everybody else was just a peg or two below. It's like he didn't have a whole lot of help, even though this series went 7. But you got to watch out because Giannis ain't going nowhere.
I agree. It's just crazy. I knew with Giannis, Milwaukee had a fighter's chance, but I just knew from top to bottom the Celtics were the better team. It's that simple.
Yeah. I have the Celtics going all the way, and I feel what do you have them beating? Who do you have?
I was talking about it in the Slack the other day. I was thinking, Miami just, obviously the top seed in the East, they have these high goals, but I can't see anyone. As it hurts me, I'm a guy from Jersey. I'm like a Knicks fan. It hurts to see Boston do well, but objectively speaking, they're unstoppable at this moment in time.
How many games do you think this series is going?
I think if Miami's lucky, it's going to be 6 games, but I think the Celtics could get it done in less.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel if the Celtics execute, they definitely go.
It'll be 4 or 5.
If the Celtics execute, it should be 5. But honestly, any range from 5 to 7, I feel it's a big possibility. But I don't. It's just a different Celtics team than when Miami saw them in the bubble. But it's not to say this Miami team isn't. It's everybody's grown.
They're definitely gonna have to earn those wins, but I just think Miami is just a very system-based team. Having those shooters like Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry's obviously been a great pickup for them. But, you have guys on the Celtics that could go out and create their own offense. And other than Jimmy Butler, I really don't see that. And Tyler Hero, obviously. But I just don't really see that being as strong as the case for Miami.
So you're saying Celtics are a deeper team?
Oh, for sure. I know Miami in terms of player development, they're great, but the Celtics, they just have guys who can do anything. They could shoot, they could play defense. They're not afraid to go up on the glass for rebounds. I think just they have everything you want in a playoff team right now.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy. And I'm not even trying to look past Miami, but I think a Celtics Warriors or a Celtics Mavericks.
I think it's written in the stars.
Absolutely mind-blowing to see something like that. And it's funny how they're going on a revenge tour. They lost to Brooklyn in the first round last year. They lost to Milwaukee the last time Kyrie was in a Celtics. And they're going to keep capping it off. And you can even say that revenge tour goes all the way to the finals because they got a championship that they feel like they should have had a long time ago.
I know, ever since, they were really due for one since 2008. And obviously the Lakers fans have been giving them a tough time after their bubble ring, saying they're top, but I don't think it's gonna last for much longer.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. The playoffs have been
absolutely
nowhere near done. My goodness.
Absolutely. And then I think your other topic also really good about aging stars. You see LeBron, you see KD, and obviously Harden is a great example of just guys who have really dominated the league for a long time now, but are starting to lose that step.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got to understand this. It's funny, even how bad James Harden played the last couple of games in the postseason against Miami. He's probably still going to get his money, even being 32 years old. He lost a step. He's not hitting those step back threes like he used to. He's not getting by guys anymore. He's not getting those calls. It's a culmination of things. And I feel it's not fair to those guys because of how great they were. You look at Harden just a handful of 2 or 3 years ago, this dude was putting up 35 to 40 points a game, and he was the MVP of the league. Do I think he should have deserved that MVP? Not really, because LeBron, averaged like 27.
LeBron, I'm in that boat.
but that's LeBron is just ages like fine wine. But yeah, just speaking on guys like Harden and even Kevin Durant for that at that point, because I like using this example. When KD was a 23-year-old and he was facing Kobe, who was in his mid 30s by then, and the Thunder stomped the Lakers in their playoff matchup. They said Kevin Durant arrived and Kobe was he was getting older. But nowadays, Jason Tatum shows up, stomps out KD's squad, and they say, "Oh man, Kevin Durant got to hit more shots. He got to be more aggressive." And so you got to understand these guys are human. They're gonna get old. I think Kevin Durant's gonna age gracefully, but
I agree. I think even after his terrible Achilles injury a few years back, he's still been balling out. But it's just I agree, and even for LeBron for that matter, he almost won the scoring title this year, like somehow, only in LeBron style. But it's obviously he lost his step with those ankle injuries that have been piling up. He doesn't have that same athleticism that he used to have. But I think it's fine to accept that these guys are Hall of Famers. They're walking around just you cannot dispute their legacy on this game, but they're just simply not the same player they used to be.
yeah, and it's not to say that these guys are going to become vegetables or anything like that. Like LeBron, I feel can average 20 until the day he retires. The same thing with Kevin Durant. I feel Kevin Durant can age gracefully into his 40s if he really wanted to keep playing. But it's just us as fans got to learn to appreciate them at their absolute best. Look at Giannis, look at Jason Tatum for that at this point, and you see Steph Curry, he's getting older, and you see all these guys we grew up watching and loving watching the game. Those guys are getting older now, and those guys aren't going to be the same players anymore. We just got to learn to appreciate the next generation while these guys are still at the highest level of performing.
Yeah, the league is definitely in good hands. I think, especially obviously yesterday with the Celtics win and the Suns, Luka Doncic, they're young guys who are up next. The NBA is going to be must-watch TV for years and years.
Absolutely. I'll say this right now. Luka and Jason Tatum got a couple MVPs up there. Like just
I literally think they're the next like Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird type of deal.
That would be awesome. Absolutely. Yeah. I need Jason Tatum to win that battle though.
Yeah, I know. This year it's got to. I think there's no stopping the Celtics though.
Man, NBA is going to be just one crazy just battlefield for the next 10 years.
I know. It's going to be so awesome to watch. It's like crazy. I was worried because I like you said, I watched LeBron forever. I was worried, when is he going to end? But I'm not that worried because there's going to be so many great teams and players to watch for so many years.
Yeah, you looking at for LeBron. I don't know. You probably got another at least 5 years. I know he said he was waiting for his kid to show up. So you got a couple more years of LeBron. So I'm not too worried about it. And we can go into a whole GOAT debate. We'll be here forever.
I know that's a whole different thing.
Nah, but we're looking at it on time. It seems like we got a lot of good discussion going on. But
I think we could probably wrap it up. I think that's really good discussion.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll say this: Celtics will win the championship. They're beating.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts me to say as a New York guy, but I think the Celtics. I gotta look at it with an unbiased view. The Celtics are just the best team left right now.
Yeah, I'm excited just to see how it goes, but I gotta see Boston hoisting the championship up at the end of the year.
I agree. I think they've earned it, even though they've only done 2 rounds. They've definitely earned it thus far.
Celtics have arrived, and they're gonna be here for.
Yeah, they're not stopping.
I feel like they'll even get better in next season, but that's a topic for a different day.
I think, with Williams healthy next year and everything, they are not leaving that top of the mountain. I don't think. But yeah, Jiarmani, thank you so much for having me on. It was great talking with you. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Oh, for sure. NBA is going to be crazy. It's been a pleasure.